Hi, good morning everyone. This is Dr. Senthil Kumar here. After writing the exam, I have seen some students, in fact many students telling me that, sir, time was not sufficient for me. I know all the questions but I was not able to complete these 5 marks, sir. Some even say that they left an essay in the last so that they can write it, but they are not able to complete. Some students say that they wrote well but they didn't score well marks. Main purpose of this video is how to write the exam effectively so that you can get good marks. So the 3-hour exams, what all you have to do so that you can get good marks. So all these whatever you are going to do in the examination, all I am going to give in the tips, simple tips which will help you to write exam well in an effective way so that you can get good marks. So let us enter into the video. Yeah, tip number 1. As soon as you enter the exam hall, see that you just relax. Don't panic. Panic is different, fear is different. Even now many students tell me that I am afraid of exam, which is actually good. So being afraid of exam only makes you read more. In fact, my professor used to say that if you are afraid of exam, then it is a good sign. So fear is different, panic is different. So once you enter the exam hall, don't panic, just relax. In fact, you will be entering into the examination hall some 10 minutes before the question paper is being given. So just relax in the 10 minutes, be calm. Then once you receive the question paper, very important tip, don't just start writing immediately after seeing the question paper. Some students, what they think, if they see the first essay, if they know that essay very well, they immediately start writing. Some will think that if they see the entire question paper, they may come across some questions which they may not know or they may not read. So they don't want to see the question paper, which is a big mistake, especially during the examination. You have to first see, for example, if you are having 100 marks question, 3 hours paper, just to see all the questions, whatever is given. Don't worry that some questions may not be known to you. It's not a matter. It is same for almost all the students. It's not necessary that you will be able to know everything. Why I am telling is just you have to go through all the questions. Then only you will be able to put a master plan for these 3 hours. As in my previous videos, I would have told how to read, how to put a master timetable. The same thing works for this 3 hours exam also. You have to divide the time. So you have to plan accordingly. Only if you see the question paper, you will get an idea. Okay, these questions I know well. So I can write first the questions whichever I know. The second tip is always see to that you go through the question paper once, or you have to proofread. In fact, don't straight away start writing the answers seeing the first question. Even if you take 5 to 10 minutes, it's worth enough. This 5 to 10 minutes which you are taking gives you a plan how to write for 3 hours. Tip number 3 is time distribution. So according to the time, 3 hours, for example, 100 marks. So you have to plan. The big mistake what most of the students do is 2 essays. For example, in 100 marks paper, 2 essays, 15 marks each. So it gives only 30 marks. But what most of the students does is, especially if they get 2 well-known essays which they know very well, they write 1 essay for 1.5 hours and 2 essays for, then they realize, oh, 1.5 hours gone, almost 50% of the time they have written 1 essay. So next essay what they do, they write it in 1 hour. So almost 2.5 hours, they have written only 30 marks out of the 100. So imagine, they have taken almost more than 2 hours for just 30 marks and they take only 1 hour for the remaining 70 marks. Which is obviously it is very clear that the time distribution is not proper. Why I am stressing on this is, when they start writing, they will not realize. So we have to plan at the start of the exam itself. That's what time distribution is very important. So you see that you write 1 essay not more than 40 minutes. That is tip number 3. So now you calculate 2 essays, maximum 1.5 hours. Then you have 5 marks. For each 5 marks, 10 minutes. So again, 10 minutes 50. It comes 1 hour 20 minutes. So 1.5 hours, 1 hour, almost 2 hours 40 minutes. And MCQs you have 20 minutes. So like that, you have to plan. Don't waste more than 1 hour for a single essay. That's what I want to tell. Tip number 4. Try to draw diagrams wherever essential necessary. Try to make it in the form of flowcharts. So don't just write like stories. Main thing, whichever you know very well. Just now I was telling that some students spend 1.5 hours or more than 1 hour for a single essay, which they know very well. If you are very confident and you know that essay very well, or not only essay, the short notes very well, see that you make it in a like a bar diagram or like flowcharts, so that the paper allotted, it will be easy for him to correct. Instead of just reading each and every line, you can just go through the important points whichever you marked, so that you can get more marks. But very important, you have to draw flowcharts only for the questions which you are thorough and which you know very well. That is very important. Coming to tip number 5, don't waste time on a single question. What I mean is, when you keep on writing, sometimes in a question you get stuck up. You will think that you will start writing the answer, but suddenly you get stuck up. What some students do is, they will not go to the next question. They will keep on thinking what to write, because they started the question. So they keep on thinking what to write, and the time is getting wasted, because time is very precious and you have to complete in the given 3 hours 100 marks. So what to do? Give some space for that, or just skip that question, go to the next question and start writing. And you have to plan. Since you have left that one question, you mark that question in the question paper, that you have to rewrite, that you have to come back to write it again. So after finishing the other questions, you come back, definitely you will be able to remember that, or you will be able to write that. Now coming to next tip, tip number 6, again very important, don't leave any questions unanswered. Inspect after several times, telling to students. Some students think that if they are not very sure of the answer, they will get caught if they write that answer. It's not that the case. Since you don't have any negative markings, don't leave any questions unanswered. Something related to that question you may know. For example, if I tell, if regulation of blood pressure question is asked, if you are not knowing the exact answer, regulation of blood pressure, don't worry, just write what is blood pressure. Some grace marks will be definitely given. See that, don't leave any questions unanswered. Don't think that if you write only half of the answer, it may not be nice. Even half mark or 1 mark is going to add to your total. Each and every mark is important in the exam. So don't forget that every mark counts. That's what I want to mention here. Don't leave any questions unanswered. Tip number 8, regarding writing, see to that don't write very slowly, because especially for medical field, since the answers which you write is going to be very vast enough, see that don't write very slowly. Yes, handwriting is important, it should be legible, but some students I see that they write very slowly. As I was mentioning, 2 essays, they take more than 2 hours. So what happens? For the remaining questions which they know very well, the answers they know very well, they are not able to write due to lack of time. Or write little bit fast, so that you can complete within time. Don't write very slowly. Tip number 9, see that you read the question very properly. As I told in previous tip, that you have to go through the question paper before start writing the answers, so that you will get an idea what to write for this 3 hours. See to that you read the questions properly. Just example I am telling, they might have asked, for example, write in detail about the little brain. So if you have missed the word little, you will start writing about the brain for 15 marks. But the question is little brain. Brain is cerebrum. For example, I am telling, little brain is cerebellum. So cerebellum essay is different, cerebrum essay is different. Since you missed the word little, there was a confusion. So see to that you read the question very carefully. So don't miss that little words which change the entire answer itself. Tip number 10, so give some time at the end of the exam, at least 5 to 10 minutes for threading the answer sheet, and you have to check. What some students will do, they keep on writing and finally they may not write the question number itself. So it becomes a problem for the evaluator which question he has wrote. So they may be able to find, some evaluators may find it difficult, some may not even give marks since the question number is not written. So they don't know for which question you wrote, and sometimes it may not match. So always see that you write the page number and see that for this question, what page number, what answer you wrote. And another very important tip which I would like to give is, please don't discuss about the answers whatever you wrote with your students, fellow colleagues after the exam is over, especially if there is going to be other exam following. So what happens is, in case if you are going to discuss, definitely curiosity will be there. You want to know whether you wrote it correctly or not. For example, in case if you have wrote some essay, as I was mentioning cerebellum, in case if you wrote some essay which you know very well, you have changed it, there is a possibility that you may get upset. So that may upset your rhythm, and it may affect your reading for the next day exam. So until the entire exams are going to get over, don't discuss about the answers whatever you wrote after the end of the exam. You have to wait until your exam gets over. After the exams, even before the marks comes, you can discuss how you wrote. But after each exam, don't discuss. Once the exam is over, forget about that. Read for the next day exam. Because over is over. You have to concentrate on next exam. Very, very important. Don't discuss. One more thing, don't turn around. For example, if you are not knowing some questions properly, don't turn around and just check whether other people are writing. Not necessary. So whatever you know, you write, and whatever you write, you be confident. Don't worry, it is going to be very easy. Don't turn around, because there is a possibility that in case if everyone is writing and you are stuck up with one question, you may get a little bit rhythm upset that all are writing, I am not writing. So never watch around. This is your exam, your answer sheet, you are going to write, you are scoring marks. So don't worry, and I hope these tips will help you in scoring good marks during the exam time. So don't panic, fear is normal. So don't panic, it is going to be easy. Just follow these tips, maintain that time, complete the entire answer sheet. Very, very important, don't leave any questions unanswered. And I hope you will follow all these tips and score good marks. And all the best for your exams. Thank you. We will see you in the next video.